Okay, this is a short assignment. You have two problems on the back side. It says I plan to budget 1/5 of each month's check on groceries. If I make $2,400 in a month, how much can I budget on groceries? Now you look at that fraction and you see of after it, so you're going to set that up the same way you did the percent ofs yesterday. Okay, so what you're going to put is, instead of percent actual, you're going to put fraction actual. It's the same concept as a percent. Now you got total. Now the definition of the fraction is on groceries. So you're going to put on groceries. And then here you're just going to put not. That means not on groceries. So what you do with the fraction is you put the 5 on the bottom, the one out of the 1/5, you break the 1 and the 5 up. 5 goes on bottom, 1 goes on top. Now again, to figure this out, you take 5 minus 1, and that equals 4. So there's your fraction column. Now we got to decide where the x goes, and then the not's irrelevant here on this assignment. So I start at the question mark and work my way back till I get to a period or a comma. Okay, well there's a comma right there. Now this is my x. It says how much can I budget on groceries? Okay, so is it in that sense, are they asking me on groceries? Yeah, I do. I see on groceries. So that's x right there, and then 2,400 is my total. Okay, so it's 1 over 5, back to the fraction, equals x over 2,400. So then we just cross multiply and divide. Okay. So 1 times 2,400 divided by 5 is going to be 480. And then of course the label is the same as the 2,400, so $480. Okay. Next problem, 4/5 of the student body was present at an assembly. Okay, so you see that of, so you know you've got to make the table. If 160, sorry, I mislabeled that. That should say students. I didn't put that. I should have. If 160 students were at the assembly, how many students are there in the school? Okay. So you put fraction actual. Okay. So total. Now the label that defines a fraction is was present at the assembly. Okay. And this one here is not. Okay. Okay, so the fraction, now remember 4/5, so we put 5 down there as my total, and then the 4 is present. So 5 minus 4 then gives me 1. Okay. Now, what are you being asked? Question, stop at the comma. How many students were there at school? So they're not asking how many were present at the assembly, okay? So again, the x won't go right there. That's not what I'm being asked. X goes here. So it says how many were at the assembly. It was 160. So let's cross that out. 4 over 5 equals 160 over x. Okay, then I cross multiply and divide by 4. The reason you cross multiply and divide is 5 times 160 is equal to 4 times x, so to get rid of the times you divide, and that's going to be 200. So x equals 200, and it's 160 students, so it would be 200 students. Okay, a man spends 1/4 of his paycheck on rent. If he spends $550 each month on rent, how much does he make? So again, the fraction, I see 1/4 of. Okay, the of means you want to set this up with of after fractions, percents. You want to go with this table here. Okay. So total, and then on rent. That's all you got to put. And this would be not on rent. Just put not. So out of the fraction, you put the denominator, the 4 is your total. The 1, okay, that's your spent on rent. Then 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, now, this is irrelevant, so what are they being asked? Backtrack. Stop when you get to a comma. So how much does he make? They're not asking me on rent, okay? Remember, so this is where we put the x. They're asking me how much does he make. They're not asking me on rent, so we don't put the X here. We put X down there. So how much is spent on rent? Well, it's $550. Okay, so we're finding the total. So 1 over 4 equals 550 over X. Okay, so we cross multiply and divide by 1. So it's 4 times 550 divided by 1, and I come up with $2,200. Because that's the same thing right there.